Hey, how's it going guys? Equator from RuneRealm here. Today I'll be going over the high tier Theater Blood guide and I'll be showing you how to get there. 4 out of 6 bosses will be killing, the mechanics, and the loot you can get. For the high tier there are a lot of mechanics you don't have to worry about and it's a lot more streamlined. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me in game or on Discord. How to get there? We can go to the spellbook, minigame teleport, and then Theater of Blood, or we could go to the player panel, the spell tab, and Theater of Blood. Once you get to the Theater of Blood, you'll want to do quick solo Theater of Blood, and it'll take you straight into the option of the bosses that you want to kill. The bosses we'll be focusing on are Bloat Maiden, Bloat, Sotetseg, and then finally Verzik. Before we get into Bloat Maiden, there are 3 specials you need to look out for. The first one is where she will do 3 blood splats, and basically if you stand on those, they'll damage you and they'll heal her. They also have the possibility of turning into a blood spawn, which will pretty much navigate through the room at random. And then finally, she will spawn 2 Nylocas that can heal her if they reach her. This is her blood splat ability. As you see, I'm standing on it and it's damaging me. It's healing her. So when she does that, you just need to move in a different direction and they shouldn't hit you. As you see, there's a blood spawn too, and it just goes around the room at random. At around 65% HP, the Nylocas are spawning, and then they will heal her. Your option is to either freeze them or just ignore them and continue to DPS the Maiden. That's the 3 specials that you really have to worry about killing the Maiden. Before getting into Sotetseg, there are 2 specials we have to talk about. One is he shoots a giant orb, which you pretty much just have to tank, and it usually hits around 40 to 50 damage. And then the second one is, depending on his HP, I think it's about 33% and 66% HP. He'll spawn 2 mazes, and you just, as a solo, you don't have to actually complete the mazes, you can just run all the way across. And I'll show you when we get there. As you can see, we're at 66.7 HP. And all we have to do is run across this maze. We won't take any damage besides 2 or 3 damage. Just go here, through the portal, and then we're back to the boss fight. And here's the large energy ball that'll hit you. It'll do up to 40 to 50 damage, and there's a possibility if you get Sotetseg down to the 33% or 66% HP as he does that special and you get sent into the maze, it will do no damage to you. For Bloat, he basically has two special attacks. One's a stomp after he is not paralyzed anymore, or he doesn't stop moving anymore. He also has his regular attack where it'll just send flies and hit you. If you play range, it'll do half the amount of damage. And then the final special attack that he does is after the first rotation. So this one, after he is finished, after you finish doing damage to him, then once he starts moving again after the stomp, falling hands will start falling from the ceiling and they will stun you and do damage. Here's the stomp right here. It's 46. As you can see, now we have falling hands. If one lands on you, then it will do a significant amount of damage and stun you as well. For Verzik, before you even start the fight, you have to talk to her and go through the dialogue. And then, are you ready to fight? Yes, let's begin. For this, you just put yes, let's begin. You also get a Dawnbringer when you enter the room, which you can use to spec her. And if you're wearing mage gear, it'll do a lot of damage. For these regular basic attacks she does, as long as you go behind a pillar before she does it, then she won't damage you. It'll hit the pillar instead. As you see, I'm behind the pillar. Here comes the attack. Hits the pillar and damages it. Once this pillar reaches 0% HP, it'll crumble and you have to move on to the next one. For P2 Verzik, she'll spawn a Nylocas Athanatos and this one as well. If you don't move from that one, it'll damage you. And if you attack this one while you're wearing something that has poison, poison damage, like the Serp Helm, it'll poison it and the damage will go back to Verzik at around 37.5% to 38% HP. Verzik will spawn these Nylocas, and you have to kill at least one in a solo before you can start damaging Verzik again, because they will heal her. For P3 Verzik, she will attack with either mage or range. She'll do 5 attacks before switching. Usually for the 5th attack, then she'll spawn a Nylocas that is similar to the one in P1. Right here, if you don't dodge it, it'll explode and do damage to you. Now she switches over to range. Again, it's every 5 attacks. She'll switch over from mage to range. If you go in melee distance, she'll also melee you instead of ranging you. She has this web special. If you get stuck in it, it'll do between 40 to 60 damage to you. As you can see, I'm stuck in the web now, and once it despawns, that's when it'll do the damage to you. For this special, all you have to do is run on top of this, similar to the Ohm special, and then you'll take no damage from it. And for the final special, she'll shoot like a large green projectile at you, and basically just you have to tank it. We don't have tornadoes in RuneRealm for her specials, Here's the large green attack. Hit you, and that's pretty much it. That's all the specials that you have to worry about for Verzik. The drops that the Theater of Blood give you is the Black Tourmaline Core, which is used to upgrade Bandos boots into Guardian boots, and it is used on the Imbued, Ferocious, and Twisted Heart to make the Ominous Heart, which is the best in slot heart. They also drop the Ancestral Imbue Scroll, which is used to upgrade Ancestral. Just this your face guard, chest guard, and leg guards. And then also the Avernic Defender Hilt, which is used to upgrade the Dragon Defender into the Avernic Defender. The most notable drops that everyone tries to get is the Scythe of Vitur and the Blood Shard. The Blood Shard is used on a Fury to make the Blood Fury. Then there's also the Sanguinesti Staff and the Grazi Rapier.